What's up guys, DIY Salvage Guy here, and welcome back to another episode of my channel. On today's episode, we're going to be taking a break from the car rebuilds and we're going to be focusing on doing a brake job. Nice, simple, easy, right to the point. Basically we're just going to be changing the brakes, changing the rotors, and all that good stuff. And in a future episode, we're going to be doing the rear and we're going to be doing the calipers as well. So if you guys are new here, make sure you guys like, subscribe, throw me some comments down below, make sure your post notifications are on, and also make sure you guys are following me over on Instagram because I do post things on there quicker than it makes its way over to YouTube. So car brakes are pretty simple. Very simple type of thing. Every car more or less uses the same type of thing as long as it's a disc brake. You have your caliper, you got your rotor, and you got your pads that are usually pressed into the caliper, and they're all basically the same thing. So whether you have a Ford, a Chevy, BMW, Audi, anything like that, they're all going to be the exact same concept. You know, you might have a brake pad sensor that tells you on the fancier cars. You might have just a standard brake rotor, but it's all the same. It's all very simple. So hopefully you guys stick with me, learn how to do some brakes on a Ford right now and just every other car that you guys can come across. Hey guys, what's up? DIY Salvage Guy here, and today we'll be doing the brakes on my mom's, I think it's a 2014 Ford Edge. I'm just going to be doing the front one just to give you guys a quick little overview of how to do it. So it's a pretty straightforward procedure. Everything on it is pretty much like the same on any other vehicle. So a couple things that you need: obviously you need your lug nut removers, you need your bits, whatever you guys have to use. This one uses a 19 millimeter, so I'm using that. Got the jack all set up. Now I'm not getting under it, so I'm not going to be using the jack stand or anything, but if you're getting under the vehicle, I highly suggest a jack stand. I just don't have a spot to put it right now. So going to be taking this tire off. You want to loosen up the lug nuts first before you jack it up, because otherwise you're not going to be able to get any torque on the nuts and the wheels are just going to spin. So I did that already. Did this other side first, make sure I knew how to do everything. And you want to make sure that you have a caliper compression tool. I picked this up at Harbor Freight, cheap little thing, like 30 bucks or something. I'll show you guys how to use that. And might need a rubber mallet, maybe a hammer to get any rusted off rotors off or anything like that. So like I said, really straightforward procedure, and I'll show you guys everything right now. Right, so the first thing you want to do is, while the car's on the ground, as I said, just want to loosen up the nuts. I already broke the seals on them, so we're good. So now next thing we're going to do is jack up the vehicle. Now we're only doing the brakes, so we don't have to lift the car up off the ground too much. So we're just gonna studs off. When you're tightening and loosening bolts, you also want to make sure you go in a star pattern. That way there's not too much pressure or torque on one bolt at a time, and the wheel's not lopsided or anything like that. Now we're stuck on there. Alright, so this one came off pretty easily. So what I always like doing right now is, especially when the wheel's been like that, I'm just going to spray up. I have to take I'm going to be replacing the rotors as well as the pads, so I'm going to spray up the bolts that we're going to be loosening. A little rust penetrant, liquid wrench, whatever you guys have. Using a 17 and a 19. Start with the 17, take these off. One thing to note on this vehicle, these two bolts are different sizes, so the bigger one goes up on the top. So just make sure, if you're working on a car that's like that, just make sure you take note of the bolt sizes and everything that you guys are using. Also, the next thing, you want to make sure that the caliper never hangs. doesn't hang from the brake hose. So I have this little caliper hook, so we're just, this should pop right off. And just gonna support it with the hook right to the strut. That way it's supported on this instead of on the hose. So always take notice of the way your brake pads are seated. Should be a nice easy job to get these off, but so next thing we need to do is do this next couple set of bolts, because so if we were just changing the pads, this is all we'd have to do. We pop these off, pop the new ones on, we'd be done. Nice and easy. But when you're doing the rotors as well, rotors are cheap enough on most cars that you should really just replace them at the same time. So this caliper tool is pretty easy to use. Basically just take this little part, slide it over here, and it comes on down over here. And then what you have to do is you have to grab one of the little bits that goes over the actual caliper itself. So you can see right here, these need to be pushed in. So the way that it works is that as your brake pad wears down, this keeps pressure on it, so this starts to come back out, and the only way to actually recess it is by kind of forcing it back in. So sure these are nice and tight. And these are your brakes. So everything's good here. This should be good to go. Grab our tire, put that back on. Now this will be basically the same thing for the backs. I do have to do the backs, and I do have to change the calipers on those as well. So I will be doing another video just showing that. But you know, I have a couple BMWs, and this is basically this exact same procedure on those cars as well. Please don't think that you need to take it to a dealer to get them to do it. It's very easy to do. So the only thing that's different on them is they have an actual wear sensor on it, and clips right into the back of the caliper. Alright guys, so you just saw me do the brakes on my mom's car. It's 2014 Ford Edge. Pretty easy. You know, the other side, the left side, the right side, they're the exact same thing. So I only did the one side for the tutorial. It's really simple. You make sure you torque the bolts down. Make sure you're good. Well, just follow the procedures. It's nothing to really worry about, guys. Nice and easy. Don't overpay for brakes. Very simple. That's gonna do it for today's episode, guys. A little bit different. You know, just went over the whole brake job in and of itself, and it was pretty simple. So hopefully you guys enjoyed this. Hopefully you guys can find this useful. And you know, if you guys like this type of video, let me know. Let me know if there's other things that you guys want to see for like routine maintenance and stuff. So hopefully I can get you guys a little bit more in tune with the DIY type thing instead of bringing it to a mechanic. You know, buy the parts online and just do it yourself. You know, you could weekend warrior this stuff, and you could save yourself $300-400 as opposed to bringing it to a mechanic and having them pay or having to pay so much more, and then they're always going to tell you that you got other things wrong with your vehicle as well when you know that you don't, or you get scared into doing some additional things. So if you guys are new here, make sure you like, subscribe, throw me some comments down below. Let me know what you guys think about this channel. Make sure your post notifications on, and also make sure you guys are following me over on Instagram, because I do post things on there quicker than it makes its way over to YouTube. So whether it's the car reviews, whether it's the rebuilds, whether it's simple DIY type things for fixing cars, or maybe it's life hacks that have you guys here. No matter what it is, I hope you guys will pick up a wrench, buy a car, do anything that you need to do to just try to become a DIY salvage guy yourself.